WWE, Nick Khan and Paul Triple H Levesque have been accused of taking advantage of Disney when it pertains to the deal that saw all of WWE's PLEs move to ESPN as part of a $1.6 billion 5-year agreement. We'll let you know why that is the case. Plus, WWE fans seemingly are expressing their disappointment in Gunther's victory over LA Knight on SmackDown that saw the former World Heavyweight Champion be cemented as John Cena's final opponent in his retirement match this weekend at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. All this and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with a pretty serious accusation here, saying that WWE, Nick Khan and Paul Triple H Levesque have taken advantage of Disney when it comes to the ESPN deal that has seen WWE PLEs move to their new streaming platform. Now, this is off the back of some claims by Freddie Prinze Jr. last week, suggesting that Disney weren't happy already with this WWE deal. As I mentioned recently, Freddie Prinze Jr., who previously was a writer on 2 occasions for WWE and of course is a Hollywood star, revealed that the sports conglomerate, that being Disney, was unhappy in its partnership with WWE. In August, both companies signed a lucrative business deal to air wrestling premium live events on ESPN's streaming platform in the United States, which kicked off with WrestlePalooza in September. The Hollywood star revealed on his podcast that he had a friend working in Disney who claimed they were not happy with their deal with WWE. He said, quote, "ESPN, by the way, so unhappy with the deal. I was talking to a friend of mine who works for Disney, and he was just like, yo, they better make their money back on this deal. He just said they're hot." Fightful Select and other outlets, meanwhile, followed up with ESPN and the Stanford-based company for a comment revealing that both refuted any claims of existing tensions. On a recent episode of the Coach and Bro podcast, Jonathan Coachman and Vince Russo discussed the latest comments by Freddie Prinze Jr. Coachman, who worked at ESPN sometime after leaving WWE, claimed that Triple H and Nick Khan were taking advantage of ESPN, whose subscribers are not primarily wrestling fans. He said, quote, "This was a big deal for both sides. It was a smart deal. When you're launching an app, Vince, and you've got to get people to pay $30, it's the most expensive entertainment app in the world, so they knew it was going to be an uphill battle. But Vince, when you don't know, I think Triple H and WWE are taking advantage of that. I think Nick Khan's taking advantage of the fact that they know that a lot of people at ESPN, they know the promotion game, but they don't know the wrestling game. So I think they thought they don't know if it's a bad show, they don't know if it's a subpar show. You could just watch it, Vince, and you and I could pick it apart from now until next week on everything that was lazy about that show. Vince, they're not living up to their side. ESPN is." So what are your thoughts on the comments there made by Jonathan Coachman and Vince Russo? Do you think WWE, Nick Khan and Triple H have taken advantage of Disney with this ESPN deal and they're putting on a subpar product, or is this just more speculation? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Of course, Gunther, he's facing John Cena in Cena's retirement match this weekend at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. Of course, we will be live for a watch-along and a post-show this weekend, so be sure to join us. Of course, it's Saturday Night's Main Event, which means over here in the UK, we watch it for free on YouTube. You can too. All you have to do is get a VPN. You can use our link to NordVPN right there. Scan the QR code, links in the video description. You can save yourself some money, and you can watch Saturday Night's Main Event this weekend for free, so take advantage of that offer. Now, WWE fans seemingly have expressed their displeasure over the decision for it to be Gunther to face Cena in his retirement match. Even before the last time Is Now tournament officially kicked off, there was buzz about Gunther going all the way to secure his place as John Cena's final opponent. The rumor came to pass on the December 5th episode of SmackDown, where the ring general defeated LA Knight in the final via submission. Both superstars put on the best performance of the night despite their mismatched styles, trading offense, keeping the fans in the arena engaged, certainly. In fact, LA Knight earned several near falls, only for the 38-year-old Austrian to thwart away any threats. The closing minutes saw Gunther attack his 40-year-old opponent's neck and put him in a submission to make him tap out for the victory. After WWE uploaded the match, a video of the match on its YouTube page, several fans made their feelings known by disliking the video. Currently, at the time of recording this video, the number stands at 13,000 dislikes against 10,000 likes and is expected to fluctuate, of course, as always, over the next couple of days. Now, fans' reaction to the video may be a direct impact of some saying they didn't want John Cena's final opponent to be Gunther. Even Cena's father, John Cena Sr., publicly opposed Gunther as his final opponent. A day before the latest SmackDown episode, Cena's father appeared on the All Access podcast where he spoke against Triple H and WWE's creative team's decision. He claimed that Gunther was already popular among the fans, and giving it to someone else like LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, or AJ Styles, the opportunity would have been acceptable. Elsewhere, Cena himself said he wasn't too happy about his father admonishing the Stanford Promotions creative decision on the Joe Rogan podcast, talking about him saying, why did his father need to say any of that? Now, in terms of Gunther, he's actually had a reaction to him being confirmed as John Cena's final opponent. While speaking in a new video he posted to social media, Gunther would send a message to Cena ahead of their match this weekend, noting that Cena will give up for good in his final match. He said, quote, "Did you see that? I told you to pay attention. At Saturday night's main event, my friend, you will give up. You'll tap. You will give up for good." In his own social media post, John Cena would note, "It is an honor to face off with Gunther in his final match in professional wrestling. As I've said, we'll be live this weekend with a watch-along and a post-show, so be sure to join us for what will be a historic occasion." Now, speaking of Gunther, he's been confirmed for tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. Gunther is set to appear on the December 8th episode of Raw on Netflix. The Ring General won the Last Time Is Now tournament and will face John Cena in Cena's final match on December 13th this Saturday at Saturday night's main event. Plus, WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer will appear on the show. Finally, Roxanne Perez will take on Lyra Valkyria in singles competition. Speaking of John Cena, he's also been making the rounds giving back to the future of professional wrestling. John Cena made a visit to the Lodestone Seminar, a training camp for women's wrestlers held and paid for by WWE superstar Bayley. Cena commented on his appearance, writing on social media, quote, "Pam, you asked me a while ago how you could help the business. You have created something that does exactly that. A collaborative environment with the purpose of making everyone in the room better than they were yesterday. Attitude is infectious. The attitude you've created allowed me to be better than I was yesterday. Thank you for all you do. Thanks to the entire group of incredible individuals, it was my honor to be invited to the room." Now, Izzy, Gabby Forza, Rachel Armstrong, Danny Moe, Janai Kai, Brooke Havoc, Nor Diana, Lavia, Nikki Blackheart, and many more were part of the training camp. So Cena continuing to give back to the industry. Now, a bit of an update here on Penta and his injury situation and just what it could mean for a planned Lucha Brothers reunion in AAA. Now, let's begin with the injury in question here. After going down with an injury on the November 24th episode of Raw, Penta has been on the road to recovery. He sadly had to withdraw from the Last Time Is Now tournament during his match with Solo Sikoa. Sikoa eventually made it to the semifinals before losing to the eventual winner, Gunther. Throughout his entire journey, Dr. Odiseo has been providing updates on Penta's status. As of December 4th, he said the following, quote, "It is on the right track and we have had good results so far, but we must not get complacent and we must continue working together. I am confident that he will be ready by Friday." On December 7th, WWE fans have had a new injury update from the doctor saying, quote, "Thank you for your trust. Almost 2 weeks in, we're seeing incredible results." Now, no exact date has been named for Penta's return, but the star luchador is nearing a return to the ring. With great results in these last few weeks, it's only a matter of time before WWE fans once again will be seeing Penta in the squared circle. This would explain why he's being seen as 50-50 for this Lucha Brothers reunion in AAA. Now, the Lucha Brothers are still officially scheduled to reunite later this month, with Penta and Rey Fenix booked to team together for the first time since July 2024 at the AAA show on December 20th, against AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. The match, as I said, is currently up in the air after Penta sustained that dislocated shoulder on the November 24th episode of Monday Night Raw. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, the word within WWE is that Penta is 50-50 on whether he'll be able to wrestle at the AAA show. Now, he suffered this dislocated shoulder following a Hurricane Rana to the floor. Penta has been a part of WWE since early 2025, making his debut on the January 13th, 2025 episode of Raw. Penta has not performed for PLE since 2023, with WWE purchasing the Lucha Libre promotion earlier this year, and the announcement being made during WrestleMania 41 weekend. Now, a big spoiler here, so if you don't want to be spoiled, skip forward a little bit ahead, because we've got an update on what is scheduled to be the main event of TNA Impact's debut on AMC next month. Now, the TNA World Championship will be on the line at the AMC premiere of TNA Thursday Night Impact on January 15th, 2026, from the Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas. TNA Wrestling taped episodes of Impact through January 8th in El Paso, Texas on December 6th and December 7th. The tapings opened with a King's Speech from TNA World Champion Frankie Kazarian following his successful title defense against JDC at Final Resolution, but Kazarian was quickly interrupted by Mike Santana. After a back and forth, Santana challenged Kazarian for the TNA World title at the upcoming Genesis pay-per-view. The match won't be taken at the pay-per-view, however, as following Kazarian's victory over Bear Bronson to retain the TNA World title at Sunday's tapings, Kaz was interrupted by Santana once again, and the former TNA World Champion announced that their title match would instead be taking place on January 15th during the AMC premiere of TNA Impact. Sunday's tapings later featured a contract signing between Kazarian and Santana, during which TNA Director of Authority Santino Marella announced the title would still be defended at Genesis. This prompted an interruption from Nick Nemeth, who declared that he would call his shot after the match at the AMC premiere. Now, it was recently announced that TNA Impact would be moving from Access TV to AMC in the United States from January 15, 2026. The weekly series will also continue to be available on TNA+. Now, continuing here with TNA, a bit of an update on some talents who could be sticking around. Fightful Select has reported that Killer Kelly's contract with TNA Wrestling was set to expire in December, but the two sides have held talks over an extension. Kelly's fiancée, Myron Reed, is currently performing in TNA without a contract, but he's also held talks with TNA about a possible deal. Killer Kelly has been a part of TNA on a full-time basis since 2022. She is a two-time TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champion with Masa Slamovich. Myron Reed has been a regular in TNA since Slammiversary this year as part of the Rascals with Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, and now a returning Desmond Xavier. Wentz and Miguel's contracts with TNA are due to expire in December, while Xavier is currently wrestling for TNA without a deal. Other wrestlers with expiring TNA deals in 2025 include Mustafa Ali, AJ Francis, Jake Something, Jody Threat, and Steve Macklin. And finally, speaking of contracts, we have an update here on JC Mateo's WWE contract. JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb, has been a part of WWE for much of 2025, and further details have been revealed about his WWE deal. According to Fightful Select, Cobb put pen to paper on a 3-year deal upon signing with WWE, and he will be under contract with the company until the spring of 2028. By the time his contract expires, Jeff Cobb will be 45 years old. Mateo debuted for WWE at May's Backlash PLE as he helped Jacob Fatu successfully defend the United States Championship in a 4-way against LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. Mateo has been part of the MFTs since his WWE debut. Jeff Cobb had been a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling for 8 years prior to signing with WWE, finishing up his run with New Japan Pro Wrestling as a former Never Openweight Champion, New Japan World Television Champion, and 3-time IWGP Tag Team Champion with Great-O-Khan and Callum Newman. WWE changed Cobb's name upon joining the organization as JC Mateo, and reportedly he is now under contract until 2028. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.